Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 The Howl. It's been really quiet since free agency frenzy last weekend. Still no big NHL players the Coyotes have signed. Rumors about Dumba. We'll see where that goes. But last night, a bit under the radar. Not sure why too many people were talking about it from Coyote beat writers. But Nathan Smith signed a contract with the Coyotes. 1 year, minor league salary, but he gets guaranteed $165,000 no matter what. If he plays in Tucson, he gets $115,000. So if he never gets called up, the Coyotes pay the difference to get that guaranteed money. Centerman, prior to last season, I thought he was ahead of McBain. Obviously, a big blunder on my part. I thought of him more skilled than McBain, but yeah, Smith is more like an offensively skilled centerman, but he can't break into the top six of the Coyotes. So he played in Tucson for the majority of the part last season. 64 games played for the Roadrunners, 27 points. Only played 4 games for the Coyotes last year, getting 0 points. McBain's more of that bottom six center, big body game, fights, does a lot of other things Smith wouldn't do, which is why now McBain has surpassed Smith in the center depth chart and works really well with the team, fits with his role, and we'll just see McBain progress. For Smith, 24 years old, 1 year contract. Hopefully for me, along with the 6 other Tucson Roadrunners signings I'm going to talk about, the Roadrunners really need to make a push for at least top 3 in the division. And I'm going to be excited to watch them this year too. I thought they would be a bit better last season. Not sure what happened. Maybe taking too many players like Dauphin and Carconi and John Sebastian Day away from the Roadrunners for numerous periods of time. So hopefully this year we have enough depth up front for the Coyotes where we don't need to steal their players anymore. The other 6 Roadrunners they signed, like I said, Smith is a centerman. They signed another centerman, re-signed Ryan McGregor. His 3rd season with Tucson, again, 24 years old. He had 18 points in 59 games played, another 2-way contract. Both him and Smith are 6 feet tall, about 170 pounds. Bill Armstrong loves his 6 foot tall big boys. And then they signed John Leonard, not a re-sign, just a new sign, a new player for the Coyotes. He is brothers with the Leonard that just got drafted, I think, by Washington, at the draft a couple weeks ago, who people thought the Coyotes would draft, but the Coyotes go after his brother. Another league minimum salary, 2-way contract, 5'11", 185 pounds. He played for the Milwaukee Admirals, the Nashville minor league team last season. He had 44 points in 67 games played. So out of all the signings I'm going to talk about today, John Leonard, who is a winger, had the most points in the number of games he played. So he just bolsters the Tucson Roadrunners offense there. And then they signed, Travis Barron, another winger, 24 years old, 6'1", 195 pounds. 2nd season with Tucson. He had 17 points in 50 games played last season. Montana Onyebushi, another fantastic Coyote name. We have Maverick Lamoureux. We recently lost Mannix Landry. Just incredible names. Montana Onyebushi, defenseman. He's basically our Boko Imama, another great name, replacement for the Roadrunners. He played 35 games played last season at 73 penalty minutes for the San Jose Barracuda. So he's 23 years old, a big, gritty defenseman who will get into fights and push people around. The Tucson Roadrunners don't really have a defenseman like that. Think about Goldsmith, who the Coyotes just drafted a couple weeks ago. Big body defenseman, plays a rough style of game and not afraid to throw punches. Sort of, an older, 4 years older Goldsmith in Onyebushi. And then we re-signed Cameron Hebig and Reese Vitelli, both forwards. Hebig, his 3rd season with Tucson, and Vitelli just played like 15 games with Tucson last season. So a lot of Tucson signings, 7 players, just bolstering that roster. I like that the Coyotes and John Ferguson Jr., who's the assistant GM, just focusing on making the Roadrunners competitive. A lot of mid-20s players, so a bit more veteran style, but you have young guys like Josh Doan and others who should, and maybe Zuber, Maximilian Zuber, another great name, who should really rise the Roadrunners, and hopefully Pravzatov stays a whole season in with the Tucson Roadrunners and actually has good numbers this season. Also want to give a shout out. Ran into Shane Doan last night walking. Great human being. Everything you hear about Shane Doan is true. Just very warm, receptive to me, just calling him out. A stranger off the street, had a really good conversation. Great, humble guy. Took his time away from, walking with his wife. Really great human being. What they say about him is true. So thank you, Shane Doan, for taking your time. And it was a really great experience. Hopefully with my editing skills, I could put in a picture. Never done that before. And hopefully it works out. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.